Hello, welcome to this. I'm always peeking. See, it's okay to make little mistakes. We'll make a little adjustments as we go. Marc Wagner here from DentalBytes, Dentists on Demand, back in studio today. And again, I love when people join me in studio. For one, it's nice to talk to people, and for another, there's less buttons to press, which is very nice. I have Nir in from Adin Implants today.
Good morning.
Good morning. I got to be honest. I'm not the most fully educated person on implants, so that I've been actually looking forward to this conversation. I understand you've got some history with implants. Let's hear a little bit about yourself. What brought you to the dental world?
Yeah,
and
sure.
and then lead it up to today.
Okay. My story is quite simple, actually. I actually didn't come from dental. Had to learn as I go, kind of like you.
I think everybody does. Yeah, it's you fake it until you make it. Maybe.
Not fake it, just learn very, very fast.
Yeah.
I'm coming from the business background.
Yeah.
And about 8 years ago, Adin approached me to run the head office in Canada. And so Adin is a global company, basically, and we are right now in 60 countries around the world, United States, Europe, Far East. You've got China, India, huge markets. Of course, South America, Colombia, Mexico, and so on and so forth. So, what
would you say the biggest market is? Right?
Europe for sure.
Yeah.
But also the Far East, China, India, some other countries around that area, South America. It's again, we've been around since 1992.
Mm-hmm.
So we're focusing on dental implants for the last 32 years, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And all we do is implants. So I'm really happy about the focus of the company on one thing, but that one thing we're doing very, very, very well.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of the key of our success is that we focus on I think today being a company that is focused on one thing, but doing it very proficient, very looking at all the aspects of the business, helping you putting better solution to the market, improving on what other people are doing, and make it kind of like something that dentists in this case can use in better way.
So what is that like? What is it that sets Adin aside then? What would you say?
Oh, so many things.
I thought you might say that.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
So, you know what? The first thing is the communication with the dentists. A lot of companies, especially the bigger ones, work in almost like a bubble of their own because they are so big. Where we trying to be as much attentive to the dentist, listen to what they have to say, see what they have problem with, trying to fix those issues, and bring better product to the market. And that's including components, that including, for instance, we are one of the only companies in the world that have a 2.75 millimeter diameter implant. As far as I know, not a lot of companies can provide such a narrow implant in such a very, very strong implant. So I've been the CEO of Adin for the last 8 years in Canada, sold tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of implants here. And for instance, I never had even one implant fractured on us. And this is because of the quality of materials, the design of the implants that being perfected over the years. And this is something that a lot of dentists really appreciate, that they don't have to deal with. Once you have a fractured implant, it's not a failed implant. It's a whole ball game. And it's something that, again, I never seen it in our implants, and this is really great. And we're selling a lot of 2.75, and we are selling 3 millimeter implants. Not all companies out there even have 3 millimeter implants to begin with. And in the past, dentist was told to place the biggest implant they can. You saw 7 millimeter diameter, 6 millimeter diameter. But as this whole industry progressed, you've seen research that start to show dentists, hey, you need the more bone around the implant that you can achieve. It's better to support the implant, better for bone loss, and so on and so forth. So now the market is going the other way. Everybody wants the narrowest implants.
Less invasive.
Less invasive. More support from the bone for the same implant. And you can do that with narrow implants. So, for instance, one of the things we tell dentists, you don't need to use 4.5, 4.3 millimeter, for instance, a premolar. With us, you can use them for 3.5, for instance. So go 1 millimeter, which is a lot in the patient mouth. 1 millimeter less, and getting the same strength, basically, that you can get from 4.3, 4.5 millimeter implants.
Now, is this based on sort of the technology on the actual implant? Like, is it still providing the same amount of surface area for osseointegration? How are you able to now drop down? Is it because it's guided? For what reasons?
The first reason is the titanium, which is it's much stronger than many out there. B is the way that we design our threads. They're called aggressive. I call it active. Like you're very the osseointegration with the implant is phenomenal. Many dentists in Canada send me pictures. They like to send me X-rays of success, and many times I see bone actually going on top of the implants, which is a good thing, and things like that. The way we work with our clients, and I'm not gonna lie, a lot of clients come to us because of the price. We are very competitive on our pricing, but they stay for the service and they stay for the quality of the implant and the results. And I have dentists that have been using us for 8 years, again, since I started in Adin, Canada. And they are the same customers. We rarely lose dentists that moving to another systems. We have loyal customers, loyal dentists that have been using us for many, many years now in Canada, but also for sure around the world. And and it's a combination of the right product, first of all, quality, because without quality, nothing. You can give it for free; it doesn't matter.
We were talking about that when you got here.
Yeah.
I can't. It's in some cases, you're giving away product for free, and it's a tough. This is a tough, fierce battle out there in the implant world. It looks and it sounds like it's, we're talking about like combining, big deals with CBCTs to get people to buy in long term and all that type of thing. I was reading on your website that you guys value the relationship, and that's sort of what you're getting at. So
100%.
What if folks are sending you X-rays, raving about like the success and that kind of thing, and what are you what's going on there that your relationships are stronger?
We actually care.
Oh, what a concept!
It's a
you care.
You actually care.
Yeah.
No, we and this is, I think, why a dentist value working with us.
Yeah.
Because we see it as a partnership.
You know what? Like I can see the numbers game. So I can see how the big companies really try and just push the numbers and make the deals and that kind of thing. And maybe they're glazing over the relationship. Maybe maybe not. Like that's maybe a biased look at that. But if I think that's kind of the right thing to do, is build the relationship.
Yeah, because you can, the moment the relationship is there, the communication is there. So dentists are more open to tell you what's going on, what's really going on, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And thanks God, most of it good. But
when anybody has anything to say, it's usually, it's always nice to get those good compliments, right?
And we do.
Yeah.
And
but you need to hear the things that aren't going right, and then address those things.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. And I think the willingness to change and to adapt and to move towards the goal of supplying the best product that we can and being one of the biggest companies in the world in the dental implant realm. But with that, putting the dentist in the focus of everything, I tell you the truth, for me, it's given me a lot of joy. I see what we're doing and the way we're changing people's lives, like the patient lives.
Yeah.
I've been in cases where I saw grown-up people, some of them like tough blue collars. You see a tough guy,
yeah,
and you just did all on six, and he see his smile for the first time, and he start to cry.
Yeah,
and this is okay. This is what makes me wake up in the morning.
Yeah,
and again, you ask me why we're doing so well, the way we're doing well in Canada right now. And again, we started in the East Coast mostly, so we are very dominant right now in the Ontario, and now start to be more and more relevant in Quebec. But we lately start to be in the West Coast of Canada. I think it's about time to give the same kind of level of product quality service to the west of Canada as well. But one of the things I'm happy to be, and this is why I'm happy to be part of the Adin family, and it's a family, by the way. Even inside the company, it's a family mentality, where the dentists also feel part of the family. Mm-hmm. And not once and not twice I heard from dentists that they're happy to be part of the Adin family. which is great, because again, I think this is the essence of what we're doing here.
Well, that to me sounds like you guys are very approachable.
Very.
Yeah, and you're addressing their concerns. You care. You said it. I think that's the difference.
A dentist will text me. It's happened not once and not twice. At 10 o'clock text.
Yeah.
And they have a case and it's 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And he forgot to order something. We'll make sure that he will have what he needs.
Yeah.
This is, and of course, it's just kind of like building those relationships and showing them that I got their back, and this is what we like to do, and it's not only me, for instance. It's Adin Canada, Adin Global. This is it's coming from the leadership of the company. This is how they see themselves as providers of service and good quality product.
Yeah.
And it's gone down to the different countries around the world that Adin is operating in. And in Canada, this is the mentality of the CEO of Adin, which is me, but also then everybody else around me. And I make sure that the people that joining the team, joining the family, have the same kind of like mentality of the dentist come first.
Yeah.
Nothing more important than the dentist.
Yeah.
And giving him the best service possible.
Yeah.
And people feel that.
Yeah.
And this is why they don't want to leave, even if they're getting a little bit better discount, or some companies time $5 less, $10 less, and they don't leave.
At the end of the day, like I've been in the industry for long enough now to see, these folks just want the support.
100%.
They want the support. They want to know at the end of the day that if anything goes wrong with any particular thing that they've invested in the practice, that whoever sold them on that piece has their back,
Yeah.
And I hear it all the time, the guys that are or that are really doing well are like on a speed dial away. They've got a patient in the chair, and and they're asking, live, what do I do in this situation? I think that's how you succeed in maybe any business, is that level of care, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yesterday, I can tell you this is one story, but it's happening every day, all the time.
Good. I love stories. Let's hear it.
A dentist. I'm actually in Vancouver right now with you.
Are we? We're actually in Langley.
Langley. But I was in Vancouver. Like I said, we have a new rep for the West Coast right now. So I'm here to help and support him and get him into the right track. And I'm getting a text from a dentist. This was 10 o'clock Toronto time. He have a patient coming at 2 or 1. And he needs impatient coping. It's a product that costs like nothing.
Yeah.
It's not like the 100 implants deal that you like, say, okay, let's make it happen because no, it was a small piece of impatient copying. It's nothing less than nothing. We made sure that he got an Uber with the part, got it on time before the patient is coming, and that was the end of it. And this is the level of, we almost like a boutique company because of that. It's kind of like funny because they feel free to approach us with those kind of things because they know that we'll answer those requests when, of course, not on a daily basis. If you see the same guy is doing all the time, we're like rush.
It's time to get a stock of the copay.
Exactly. Let's set you up the right way. But in general, those things are happen. We are all human beings in the end of the day. Yeah. And dentists are very busy with all kind of things, not only implants, right? So we understand. We understand the game that they are playing. It's not easy to be a dentist. I can tell you. We're looking at dentists and say, they're doing very well, and it's not an easy to be a dentist.
No, it's not at all. They wear so many hats. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They're under a lot of stress, a lot of demand from patients and
their team.
And the team.
Yeah.
So we understand that. And this is when I say that we are part of the team, we will go to dentists sometimes and say, hey, and we see that it's things are not like 100%, and let's set you up. So I'll literally send somebody from my team to be in the office, set them up, make sure that they are organized. Because again, it's not only implants; they have this and that and the other, and the fillers and that. It's they're running a whole business, and some of them sometimes they feel overwhelmed, and this is where we kind of like jump in and say, okay, let me send you one of our persons, organize for your team, for you to know what you have, what you don't. In terms of, at least we can help them in the implant part. The rest of the part is they need to.
They have to put the implant in themselves.
No, but they kind of like the other parts of the business wise. That's it. We definitely participate sometimes in, especially the first time dentists. We go there. Our system is very relative to use. And this is another thing that I'm asking always dentists that they're using us for the first time, right? So they're switching from other companies usually. What do you think? How do you like it? What do you don't like? And the thing that's coming back again and again and again is how simple the system is. And so usually I'll be there, or somebody from the team will be there for the first case. Very rarely a dentist will ask, okay, what do I do now, and so on and so forth, because the system is very flowy. Like I said, because this is what we do, we just do implants. We learned a lot through the years of what works and what's not working in their hands. Like guided surgery, we have amazing guided surgery. Guided surgery is becoming more and more in demand for dentists, and we have an amazing solution for guided surgery. Like I said, we have different things that other companies, for instance, don't have, and give them different options. Meaning, we have multi-units. Multi-units is basically an abutment for all-on-4, all-on-6.
Okay.
We are one of the only companies that have multi-units for 3mm diameter implant, which is super important to anybody that doing those cases. The fact that you can place another implant in a narrow ridge, which is 3mm, and have a multi-unit on top of it, and now you're having another anchor. This is something that most companies cannot do out there, besides Adin and maybe one or two more. And the funny thing about Canada, and this is another thing that I'm trying to battle, is that we are a small market.
Yeah,
Canada.
Yeah.
Well, I know we live in a very big country.
Yes.
But 38 million people or something
I
like
think
that.
we're pushing 40 now.
40?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
40.
Yeah.
It's the size of California.
It is the size of California.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And
spread across like
insane amount of
thousands of kilometers.
Yes, exactly. But
we're like USA's little hat that they wear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. I love Canada for that.
Yeah.
But in terms of business-wise, you don't see a lot of companies that coming to Canada because of that. If you go to, let's say, New York, Greater New York, and so on and so forth, you'll see much more competition from everywhere. You'll see so many implant companies over there.
I could see that being like so saturated. Yeah.
Yeah. So they have the numbers, so they can support 40 different implant companies.
Well, they have a quarter of Canada's population in like the greater New York area. Right?
Exactly. So but I think some of the companies here, without naming names, taking advantage of that. And I met a dentist from Iran yesterday, and we talked about pricing in Canada versus around the world for the same companies. And people that came from other countries to Canada, dentists that came from other countries for Canada, knows that the prices that they're coming here is, should I say, overinflated? I can say overinflated, because the competition is not here, and most of the big companies, it's about the dollar sign, and those are usually also public companies. They have stockholders, and they need to annually report. And not that we don't need to do that, but we came and said, okay, we're going to be a little bit more fair when it comes to different countries around the world, and of what is our price point.
Right.
And for me, it's because about the patient. I started by saying I didn't come from this industry. I came from other industries.
Let's pause here. Like, what industry? And I'm totally ruining your train of thought. Let's hear a little bit about your background, and that's maybe where we should have started.
Okay,
but we didn't. But that's okay.
My degree is in business degree. So I was managing the team in advertising companies. Even when I got to Canada, it was woodworking cutting tools.
Okay.
Before, I was working in a company that did clean rooms for pharmaceutical companies. I was the manager of marketing and advertising for them. So I'm coming from more like not from the dental, but definitely I have aspects of different industries. But the big thing that kind of like tied for me together is that when I came to this industry, dental, I don't know about you, but in my mind, the whole health sector is about people. Yeah,
it has to be.
No, but it's not.
It's
I don't feel it's like that. Because if today implants cost, okay, how many people that going to Mexico to do their implants?
Yeah, and this is
to go to
here's the thing.
China, to India,
Yeah.
to
Turkey.
Yeah. To do implants.
Here's the thing.
Why?
Because the patient's getting more educated now.
Yeah.
Like I'm seeing a lot of things. Like I'm seeing dentists online complaining about patients, price shopping. So the end user is getting the patient is getting more aware. Like the publicly traded company pushing numbers, it's going to be more of an even playing field now, because as the industry advertises, like we're an advertisement. That's like this is what I'm seeing. They know what they should be paying for an Invisalign treatment or an implant now. So it's time to be more careful for those folks that are, inflating their prices.
Yeah.
They're actually, I would argue that they might be chased out of doing an implant because down the street somebody's being more fair.
Exactly.
And that is literally on my phone right now, I'm being advertised to go to Turkey to do my veneers. It's happening. So it's starting there. So it's time for, I think, the industry to smarten up a little bit when it comes to pricing. It's let's be a little bit more fair here. And I think, yes, even for you drive across the line here into Bellingham and buy a case, like obviously the price is inflated by tax, but we're seeing, you see south of the border, because there's more competition.
Mm-hmm.
It naturally the price is going to come down, right?
Yeah.
So
and
those days might be over here. We might finally get fair pricing here in Canada.
It will have to.
Yeah.
And another thing, and this is where it go back to, I did all those other jobs,
mm-hmm.
And
where's home for you, by the way? Where's Toronto, yeah.
So,
but where did you grow up? Like where were you born? What, like, were you?
No, I was born in Israel.
Yeah.
So I came here 22 years ago.
Okay.
And my kids were born in Canada. And we are Canadians.
Yeah.
My accent is still there, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So. And this is another thing. So the people that cannot afford themselves to go to those countries, Mexico, because they still need to invest in flights
mm-hmm.
and hotels and food
mm-hmm.
and all of those. The last thing I want is for dental implants become unreachable for the average Canadian.
Yeah.
And
are you seeing that? Like, is it getting there? Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Especially with the economy right now in Canada, we all know people are heading.
The interest rates. Yeah,
interest rates.
Sure.
It's around the world, but definitely in Canada, you see people struggling, and I see people sometimes. Again, because I'm coming now from the dental industry, I pay attention more to people's smile.
Sure.
And you see how many people smile that they don't have their teeth.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny because after pandemic, something happened, which was interesting because everybody was on Zoom
mm-hmm.
and everybody was kind of like see themselves talking to other people.
Yep.
They start to be aware that, oh my God, I when I talk, forget about when I smile. So I will not smile and people will not see that I'm missing a teeth. But even when I'm talking, people can see that I'm missing teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually not a pretty sight. People don't feel comfortable about themselves, and this is actually after pandemic we saw an increase of implant being done. And my thought about it is like, I think because people were more aware of how they look on a regular basis when they talk, because before that we just talk to people.
And social media too.
Social media,
everybody's taken, like, especially females, or
listen,
that's fine.
I wouldn't want to go around without teeth. I can tell you that.
Well, there's a reason why. I'll go back to that story that you told, like that blue collar fella. You know, that's a big deal. Like I can't imagine living with being self-conscious of just smiling on a regular day-to-day, and the weight that would bring. Like we have so much pressure on ourselves to be the best version of ourselves.
100%.
And if we can't smile and like we're conscious of interacting, that would be such a heavy weight.
I can tell you, again, the amazing guy. I really liked him. And I was really involved in the whole process there. And he actually had a beard to hide his smile.
Oh, okay.
He was single dad, raised his kids and put all the money towards to help them go, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, when he put those new teeth that he got,
Mm-hmm.
the beard went off. He says we met him after, and he says, "I'm smiling everywhere. Like I cannot get my smile off.
Yeah.
People tell me what's happened to you.
Yeah.
Like this is
he's a new person.
It's like a new person, and this is only one story out of many that I see all the time. And for me to be part of that, this much makes me proud.
Mm-hmm. So let's do our best to ensure that more people have that experience, right?
100%.
And I mean, yes, it comes down to the
cost.
The almighty dollar.
Yeah.
But let's not put that out of reach.
Exactly. So I believe listen, we're all here to make money. We're all here to support our families. But I think there's reasonable price point. And a lot of companies out there right now, especially in Canada, caused that long time ago. Again, I'm not going to go why and so on and so forth. But the fact of the matter, if you go around the world and you check the prices of the same companies that's selling here, it's not the same prices.
This is just going to make me mad, right?
It's not the same prices.
Well, it's the same thing across the board. For whatever reason, we're getting because it has a lot to do, I think, with competition.
Yeah, which is right now Canada in terms of implants. And people tell me, yeah, there's a lot of competition. No, it's not. We have 7, 8, 9 companies here, 10 companies. This is not competition.
Yeah,
competition is when you have 40.
Right.
This is competition.
Yeah.
Now this is competition.
Yeah, there's probably some implant companies you'd never heard of before in different markets.
I was in IDS in Germany. What was it? Last year, I think. And the amount of implant companies that I saw over there was like I didn't know half of them. I never heard about them. Mm-hmm. Especially again, I'm mostly in Canada, so I know the big ones, of course. Mm-hmm. But so many medium companies that exist in Europe and across the world just don't have any interest to come here because of the cost to come into Canada, and then the market is small. So they say, no, it's too small for us, and now I need to fight with all the big boys and start to establish myself. I'm actually very proud of Adin for doing it, and you do need to have a big back to be a global company to do that, to come to Canada, which is weird in the sense.
Yeah.
This is the first place everybody should be, but because the way it's designed, it's a little bit harder for other companies. So, and this is where you see some of the companies take advantage of that, advantage of the patient and the dentist, and I'm glad that I'm not in this game.
I love it. It's always great to hear people doing the right thing. And at the end of the day, yes, you said like we all want to make money, but if we can, at the end of the day, we're going to be able to produce more volume if you make it more reachable. And again, it's time for people to really pay attention, because there are people leaving the market, leaving the country completely to get their work done. And I'll be honest, like I've seen dental crowns come in from places like China, like overseas, and they're pretty good, and they're a fraction of the cost. I mean, they're able to produce at a different, it's there's a whole conversation to be had there, but I think the world is kind of getting smaller.
Yes.
In a sense.
Yes.
If that makes sense. You talked about the support. You talked about
I just want to add
sure,
last point to what you just said, and here's another report I'm getting from my dentists.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we talked about communication and being part of the team, and one of the things that's coming up again and again and again is dentists that switch to Adin's system, which is much more affordable and much more reasonable priced than a lot of other companies right now in the market. They literally report that they're doing much more implants.
Yeah.
So the implants productivity went up. Now, the cool thing about it is, they dropped the prices, of course, but it's not from their pocket. It's from my pocket, basically.
Yeah.
Because the cost of the lab went down. The cost of the implant went down because the components is much more fair priced.
Yeah.
And now, when they're telling somebody, hey, this is the price, the acceptance rate is going up.
Yeah. Do you ever get any questions, when to price?
Yeah.
Do they question, it must be an inferior quality?
100%.
Yeah. And this is going to segue into my next question, but I'll let you answer that.
100%. And I actually like it because we live in Canada. We know what's going on here. Mm-hmm. I know the markets, like we just discussed the whole part of that. I know that we discussed the whole what's going on around the world.
Yeah.
And we know by the pricing of the treatment around the world. Mm-hmm. For instance, we know, in India, we are part of our companies that we are in India. India is like third of the price in terms of for the patient. Mm-hmm. Third. Do you think the big company is selling the same price over there? The answer is no. They can't.
Is it a volume thing though too? Because they're like what 1.6 billion people.
It's a for sure volume, mm-hmm. but Adin right now one of the biggest around this in those areas. Like we have one of the major. We're selling about 1.5 million implants around the world. Mm-hmm. So this is something that we see regardless of volume, because the markets will not pay it.
Which market's growing the fastest?
Oh my God, this is
you're gonna Canada, of course, right?
No, definitely places where the middle class.
The middle class is growing. Yeah, that's growing. I'm alluding to India as maybe possibly one of the fastest growing. Even China,
well. India, middle class is driving. Definitely
are they going to start to dictate the way that the industry goes now? Because we look at, obviously the United States has been sort of like the flagship market. Everybody wants to sell in the US, but as just in the sheer base, population base, we look at those two countries, India and China, what percentage of the population on earth is that?
Yeah.
Right? How do you compete?
You can't.
There's such a massive market there as the third, the middle class grows.
Yeah. But here's also some statistics, some numbers, and don't catch me in the word exactly, but the general idea is that in Europe, for every 10,000 people in the population, they're doing about 120 implants a year.
Okay.
Where in Canada, it's about, from what I understand, about 55 to 60.
Okay.
For the same 10,000, they're doing twice.
Yeah.
In certain areas around the world, we're looking at more like 300 and 400 implants for every 10,000 people in the population.
Is this sort of just public education and knowledge on it, or
prices.
Is it it's prices?
Prices.
It's all prices.
It's prices. It's you make it more affordable for people.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah.
They will lean into doing an implant much more.
Huh.
Now, I'm not saying implant is always the best solution for people.
Yeah.
But when it does,
well, it's the best solution when it's more reachable.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And this is what we see here right now. It's out of reach for a lot of people
Yeah.
in Canada. And it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
It literally shouldn't be like that.
So on average, like I know, I'll let you say it. Just a single unit,
Mm-hmm.
posterior, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
What's that all in? What is it with implant and crown? The works, lab fees.
For the patient?
Yeah, for the patient.
Depending. If they're using one of the big companies, it's ranging from $35,000 to $4,000. I see. Sometimes even $5,000.
Yeah, per tooth, per crown.
Tooth. Yes.
Yeah.
My clients are between 2,900, the lower part, to all the way to 3,500.
Depending on obviously the quality of implant. That is,
No. If I look at my clients,
I see.
So they're charging around anywhere between, let's say, 3,000 to 3,500. This is where prices should be, maybe a little bit even lower, but this is and on the other hand, dentists do have a lot of overcost in their practices and insurance and so on and so forth. So I understand.
Sure.
Compared to other countries, for instance.
Yeah.
But
Canadians are paying it because we're paying it. Right?
Yeah.
I think that
we used to
I've been in several sales courses, and it's like, Nir, how much does this cost? Right? Say anything, right? The price of something is what we will pay for it. So, that comes down with public knowledge, I guess, right?
But and back to our beginning of our conversation, more and more people start to be aware.
Yes.
And this is something I tell to dentists. I tell them, when someone did a root canal, let's say, or filling or whatever, they get out of your office. They want to forget about you, and they don't want to see you again, if possible.
Yes. Yeah. What a great industry to be in, right? What a great industry to be in, right? Like, they're fearing to come and see you.
Yeah, listen, this is why
they're sweating in your presence.
100%.
Yeah. But the good ones make it a good experience now. Yeah.
But here's the thing, this is what I say about implants. When somebody is missing a tooth, and now he have a new tooth, he's showing it off. It's a conversation.
Sure.
Now we have a conversation. Hey, look. He showed to his family, to his friends.
Yeah.
The next thing that will come up is how much you paid for it.
Usually. Yeah.
Usually.
Or it's, what did that cost you?
How much it cost you.
Of course, yeah.
Because now people think about their own teeth, and now they want to gauge.
Yeah.
Now, it can go two ways. If you paid, let's say, the $4,000, $45,000, $5,000, whatever, and your neighbor, your friend, your family said, "What? Why so much? My dentist did the same thing for $3,000."
Or I went to Turkey.
Or I went to Turkey to do it there.
Well, you should check out. I've seen this advertisement. You can go get it done in Turkey. You get three teeth for the price.
So
of that.
now you have a dissonance. Basically, somebody felt like he was very happy, and now he feels like he got screwed. Sorry, my language.
No, that's fine.
And those conversations are happening, because here's the other thing. I see dentists telling me they're getting referrals from their own patients because they got a good job done on them. And this is the most important part, but also with a reasonable price. Another thing that I see, and this is another kind of like important thing, is that when you look at, let's say, a difference of $500 between companies in terms of the whole cost, $400, $500 discount difference, and you say, yeah, but it's out of 3,500, 500, it's not a big percentage. What we forget sometimes is some of the insurance companies out there will cover some of the cost. It can range between $1,000 to $2,000. Some companies kind of like doing like a bridge. They're allowing you to have like $2,000, let's say. So now, out of the pocket, let's say you need to pay $4,000. You need to $4,000 minus, let's say, $2,000. You need to put $2,000 on your own pocket for a new tooth. Wonderful. The moment the dentists start to use us and can reduce the price by 400, 500, again, we're getting the same results basically.
Yeah.
So now it's not $500 out of 4,000, it's $500 out of 1,500.
Yeah.
So this is huge.
This
It's
is
like
profit,
25,
yeah.
30% cheaper
Mhm.
for the patient.
Yeah.
This is what we're looking at.
And like I don't want to make any like our audience mad out there, like especially in Toronto, Vancouver, it's crazy expensive to run a practice.
Yeah.
We talked about it, like it's they're wearing a lot of hats, hence the the support that you provide. I don't want to throw like the we're overpricing everybody conversation out there. I'm just like we're in this we're just caught in the hurricane of our economics, right? We're stuck charging what we're charging. I think it's just a real time for everybody to really look at, the distributors, the companies that are selling into the offices. It's time to really start to watch our prices, because at the end of the day, if we're making these practices pay too much for their supplies and their equipment, that's just pushing it out of the way for our patients, and they're not benefiting from the dentistry that they should be getting. And there is a real push, there is a real push for folks to start getting creative, and that flight, I've looked into it, costed it all out. The flight into Turkey to do, it was a 6 to 8 unit case. It ended up with flights and everything to be less expensive, and you got a vacation to Turkey out of it. But I don't here's the thing, there's the argument of if they're going to go to Turkey and get an inferior job done, I have firsthand experience of having a client that moved from Mexico City to Canada to practice, and he's a fantastic clinician, awesome.
Oh, yeah. They are good and bad.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
There's good and bad everywhere. Our standards are, our standards, but there are good and bad everywhere, right? You hear the horror story of somebody going to Mexico and getting a Home Depot screw put into their, I don't know how far in between those are. That's up for, put it in the comments if you've had an experience with that. But
and listen, anybody that asks me, friends, family, because they know that I'm the implant guy.
Yes.
They ask me, it come up, should I do it in Mexico? I always tell them 100% no.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll set you up with one of my dentists.
Yeah.
The cost will be reasonable, but that the most important, it's not about the cost only. You're getting the support that you need, because implants sometimes do go south.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
We all seen it. Doesn't matter which company. We have failure rates across all the implant companies. There's no one company said with us it's 100%. If they say that, that it's not true, because it's not about the implant. It's about the patient.
Yeah.
Many times.
And we're doing that all day long. We're advertising these great clinicians across Canada, and I'd be proud to send anybody to any one of them. I think, the amount of their investment, a lot of these folks, their investment in CE alone is pretty impressive.
100%. And every time we do conventions from around the world, definitely you can see the level, and I hear it from the speaker that speak to the dentist, and the level that the Canadian dentists bring to the table is very high.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very, very
and
high.
That makes you proud, right?
100%. I like it.
Yeah.
When some of the top periodontists around the world, and I talk to them after and say, and of course they're hearing the questions and conversation that I have with the Canadian dentists that using Adin, and always they come to me and said, your bunch of group is they are very educated, they know what they're doing, they're smart people. I'm definitely, the level is high, and this is one of the reasons why I came back and say, if somebody tell me, one of my friends, my families, whatever, people that I know in implants, they say, hey, I'm thinking to do it in Mexico. I said, no, don't do it. It's kind of you can get a good dentist over there, but you can get bad. Also, you need to make sure that the implant that you're placing in Mexico, they also have here, because if it's not here, good luck for the dentist to find their parts after.
And another part is like a dentist up here might not look at it.
Yeah, they do.
They will look at it. They might like.
They do. Eventually, they do.
Here, maybe I phrased that wrong. Is if you get it done here, they will take care of it. If anything,
much better, much more willingly, and more happily.
How I should have put it out there.
Yeah, this is dentists are. I love dentists, really. I love the people. I love working with them. I think they're very decent bunch of people, and they do care about the patient.
Yes.
They across the board, I see, again, I have lots of customers, lots of dentists I'm dealing with on a regular basis, and I can truly say I love most of them. Most good.
Nir, you have to say.
No, but
I'm kidding.
No, they're great people, and I think it makes sense because a dentist is somebody that's dealing with people all day, and personalities are important when you're dealing with people, and you're not only dealing with people, you're dealing with people who are most of the time stressful when they're coming to a chair, and now you need to relax them and be approachable.
Yeah, we're super lucky. I echo that. Like, it's really fun. It's fun. We're in a people, like you said, we're in a people business. It's got to be about the patient. These people, to be successful, they need to really care.
Yes.
They need to care about what they're doing. And the ones that I see do the best are the ones that are, spending the money to do the right things, like having the equipment to make the visit better. They're spending money for CE. The education doesn't stop. Right. And I think long term, if these folks are going to really enjoy it long term, they really need to grow their scope of practice. That's what I've seen. The ones that are having the most fun are the ones that are really diving into it, learning, and making it about the patient. Right?
Isn't it true in any basically an endeavor that you take? If you're having fun and you're enjoying what you're doing, you're probably going to be good at it and do a good job. And I think this is what also I didn't bring to we really enjoy what we're doing. I'm always having fun. Seriously, I like what I'm doing.
Because that's going to be a direct line right into your work. Yeah. Right?
So I like the people that I'm working with, like I said, dentists, and of course my team in Adin, either global and Adin Canada. Great bunch of people, also care. They like. Yeah. I'm. People ask me, when do you want to retire? I don't. Yeah. I really don't want to retire.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good thing. Yeah. Awesome.
I like
that's
what
cool.
I do.
That's cool. That will reflect. I mean that. I see that. The people that actually, it's all about purpose, right?
Yes.
I think, and the more you learn, the more you learn about maybe where your purpose lies. Yeah. Yeah, and that just gives you more meaningful work. I think that's
the relationship that you create, 100%. The people that you surround yourself around.
Everything's great, right?
Yeah.
The people that you surround yourself with too. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I agree. So, Adin is a company. I wanted to touch on this too. Quality wise, what's Adin doing to ensure quality? What sort of ongoing educational things are happening?
So we have. Good question, thank you. We definitely, not long ago, we opened a clinic in Colombia where we're doing live patients courses for dentists around the world, of course, from Canada and United States and around the world that coming to Colombia. We're arranging the patients, we're arranging the location, everything is taken care of. But also the dentist is getting reports of how his patient did even once he's done, because it's a full service for the patients. Again, we're going back to the patient. So it's not like come to Colombia, place a few implants, and the patient are forgotten about. The patient is still in the center. So we have those in Colombia. Then we have events coming now, for instance, In May, we're doing a course. Sorry, June, we're doing a course with Professor Liran Levin in Calgary, where he will teach about how to prevent periimplantitis, how to deal with that. It's not related to any company. Periimplantitis is there, out there. We know we cannot avoid it. But this is something that it's actually not very popular with dental implants, at least he's saying it. It's not very popular with dental implants companies. And he said, kudos to Adin to actually give this information to dentists and know how to deal with that. Although, again, by Health Canada, we have to keep all the records of every implant failed. The number is not, it's less than 1%. Which is the same like every other companies. All the major companies today.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're buying from a reputable, good company, and the fact that the company went through Health Canada, which is one of the toughest health organizations in the world, and believe me, they're doing a lot of research before you can come to Canada and sell. Any company that really went through it you'll get a good results at the end of the day. Minor thing, some things goes this way, some things go this way. You prefer different connections, different solutions for abutments, different solution for restoration, but basically the companies are the same.
Yeah.
I always tell my dentist, what's not the same are prices. This is this.
Yeah.
This is
and I mean, at
same.
the end of the day, it's the human body, like, in terms of you're talking success and whatnot.
And the knowledge is there. It's not like 20, 30 years ago when companies were trying to figure out what's going on. It's like today, every car that have a connection to Apple CarPlay.
Yes, yeah.
Back in the days, it was
it's
like
a great piece of software. I love it.
It's like
one of my favorites.
Yeah, but there's no car today that doesn't come with that. 15 whenever they came up with it, you had only the biggest and the most expensive car came with it.
Sure.
But now the technology and this is what's good about and great about technology. At the end of the day, it's balance itself.
Yeah.
So there's no new things in terms of implants. At the end of the day, it's kind of it's a school. I'll tell people, at the end of the day, it's a school. It's very sophisticated. Quality control is very important. And because of that, many times we take people to our facility to show them. We are very proud of what we do and how we do that. Quality control is, for instance, something that I really like to show my dentist is the way the driver of the abutment, if you put the screw inside and you literally do this, and I do that in front of them, I said, hey, it's not falling.
Yeah. This
is quality control because the driver need to fit exactly to another piece of equipment, which is the screws or healing abutment or whatever, and it's need to fit perfectly in order to create this friction fit.
Yeah.
And this is something that I'm telling dentists, you want to see quality control? Here's quality control. You're doing this, and I literally sometimes, to make things kind of crazy, I'm actually jumping with it.
I love when I'm working on a home project and I put the screw on the drill bit and you just drill it into the wall.
Of course.
It's sort of related, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. And the same goes with our implants, the way the driver engage into the implant. Again, the same thing goes. You can do this. And
I think it all comes down to predictability.
Exactly.
And that's what folks are looking for, right?
Everything needs to fit to everything.
Yeah.
And this is why we love taking people to our facility, to our factory. It's fascinating. I took dentists from Canada and United States, and we went through there, and it's a fascinating. You can literally eat from the floor. It's so clean. It's so like I wish my house would look so clean.
Just make implants in your house.
Yes, right. Just make implants. But seriously, everything is like the highest standards possible. Adin is, again, it's a global company, and we are by standards not only by Health Canada but FDA and CE, and it's you have like cross federation, and we literally selling around the world. So it shows you the quality that you can get from our implants. So and predictability that you can get from our implants. And again, I've been doing it for 8 years, so I can tell you, she will kill me. My wife have 2 implants. It's not other than Adin.
Yeah.
And if I was thinking that she will have a problem because my experience, guess what? It would not be Adin.
Yeah.
I'll tell her, okay, put something else. And some other people, I refer people to dentists that using Adin, close friends of mine, family of mine, because I know that they will not hate me in the end of the process.
Yeah.
And more,
Yeah.
I cannot say more. Like, this is my close friends,
Yeah.
people that I care
I
about.
mean, that's a big deal. If you're doing that says a lot. It does say a lot. It means you stand by stand by
100%.
Like, exactly. Like, I'm sending my kids to a dentist. Like that's there's no deeper trust than that.
100%.
Yeah.
I have dentists that went to other dentists to place Adin in their mouth because they cannot do it themselves, but they demand to place Adin in their mouth. And I have a couple of them that they say to the patients, I'm putting the same implant I have in my mouth in your mouth.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
So it's really cool to see it. And it's based on, like I said, I've been doing it for 8 years. So it's my personal experience. It's not research that was done and you say, yeah, but who did it? This is my own personal experience. I've been with Adin for 8 years, and I will keep being with Adin for many, many other years, as long as they're going to have me.
Yeah.
And it's a great ride. I'm really enjoying that, and this is why we've been doing it for so long.
Awesome. A little bit. So what's happening in the future, and then I want to talk to you about the ODA next week.
Yes. So ODA is the future. Adin, we just introduced a new implant to the market. It's called Unifit. It's basically a conical connection, but one platform. So meaning from 3.5 millimeter implants all the way to 6 millimeter implants. It's the same healing abutment, same patient copying, same everything. We talk about running a business, so this will reduce the amount of components a dentist need to stock in order to restore the implant. So this is very exciting. It's already Health Canada approved. We are at the final stages of introducing it to the Canadian market. Some other things. We always bring new solutions, mostly in the terms of prosthetic. Having an implant is one thing, but having prosthetic solutions like tie bases, scan bodies. Scan bodies, for instance, are made of titanium, meaning that you can reuse them compared to plastic scan bodies. A lot of companies out there selling a scan body which is plastic, which you have one-time use. And our titanium scan bodies have 2 advantages. For instance, you can use them much more than one time. Usually the usage out of those are about 20. But more importantly, when a dentist takes a scan, when he's placing a scan body which is plastic, it cannot take an X-ray to see that it's sitting properly inside the implant. So it's going blind, basically. So you can have a situation where you place the scan body out of plastic, you take a scan, send it to the lab fabricate a crown based on those information, but the scan body is not sitting properly inside the implant, and now you need to go back and forth and take another scan, and it's a waste of time and money. Where because ours is made of titanium, you can take a little an X-ray, see that it's sitting properly, and now you're not going blind. You can take the scan much better. So things like that, we're always improving our product line and making sure that it's right up there with the top of the companies out there. Again, everything but reasonable price.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely going to be in the ODA. We were just being in the PDC, Pacific Dental Conference that was happening in Vancouver. We always there, great success, lots of interest from the West End in terms of our implants, and definitely good, great leads and more to come. ODA, we've been there for the last 10 years. Again, Adin been in Canada for 10 years now. And we're going to be, actually, it's an easy number to remember. Yeah. It's booth number 2024.
2024 and 2024.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
did you guys do that on purpose?
No. I wish I could say yes, but we didn't.
Hey, you're honest. There you go. I gave you a shot.
No, listen. Listen. What you say is what you do. What you do is what you say.
Hey, I love that.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's
I could not agree more with that. Yeah.
That's it. So, anyway, 2024. In 2024, you're more than welcome to join us. We always have also other dentists that using us, coming to say hello. You can talk to them as well. A lot of them, like I said, came from other companies that moved from the one system to another, and they never go back to what they had. So it's always a good indication. So definitely feel free to come say hello to us. We don't bite, I promise. We'll show you a little bit more.
Some people might want that.
Yeah, maybe. Dentists, we're dealing with this. Teeth. No.
There you go. Yeah.
And yeah, we always have fun also. I think having fun and it's part of creating those relationships and those friendships. I don't see my clients as clients. It's kind of funny. I looked at them as my friends.
Mm-hmm.
They see me as their friends and their friend, and this is how we make sure that friends take care of friends. This is my mentality.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I agree. Anything else? How do we get a hold of you if there's any doctors interested in there to get into the system? How are we getting hold of you folks?
Wonderful. We do, by the way, offer anybody that want to try us. We do offer free implants. We offer a surgical kit that we contact lend for you to use as long as you want, basically. And so it's very easy to work with us. My philosophy: if you are not happy, I'm not happy. So I make sure that everybody is happy first, and then I need to be happy.
Yeah.
So getting a hold of us, I can give you my cell phone if you want. How does it work?
Well, I would I'll caution you on that. I know you like to get those 10 o'clock calls.
No problem. I'll give you my office number.
So here we've got I've got the website open here. How about we start there? Is there you go. Here we go.
So
here you go. We click on Canada. Look at that. Here's the number right here. 905-597-3314.
Correct.
This
is the number.
Canada's number there.
Correct. This is our head office.
And then is there an email address on there as well? Yes, there is. Right here. You can see it right there. I'll leave it on screen for a moment. Any other insight to add before we log off here?
I think we covered a lot. Definitely will be more than happy to give you more information. Again, everything we do is based on trust and information. And what you do with it as a dentist is up to you.
Yeah.
I'm not here to convince nobody. My job is to show different possibilities. Listen, even if you like what you do, like let's say you're using one of the companies you've been, and I can appreciate that. Sometimes it's also, and this is another angle that I think a lot of dentists should look at. Sometimes it's better to have a few systems in the office than only one, because you have those people that say, "Hey, I want what I want, and I'm willing to pay a lot of money for that."
Mm-hmm.
But you have the people that say, "I want a good implant. I want everything. I don't care about to go with with this brand or the other brand. I just want an implant. I want it to work. I want you to be able to smile for the next 15, 20, 25, 30, whatever is there. I want a good implant. I want a good job done on my smile. I don't really, but I want to, but also a little bit passion on money, on finance, and this is where the dentist can say, "Hey, we have this product, and we can do that, but we can do that. There's no difference in quality. It's just name brand and so on and so forth. Like we know that brands exist in our world. We know." Which is good. I mean, this is how the work works.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm okay with that.
Hey, we're all guilty. Yeah.
We're all guilty. Yes, exactly. But we all know the other things is also working. Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we like what we like. So some dentists and a lot of time they say, okay, I'm using this brand, but I want something extra. Or I'm using this brand, but I want the solution for 3 millimeter multi-units, or I want the solution of 2.75 millimeter in my office as well, or I want the guided surgery to be the easiest, best guided surgery that I can have, which is basically us, and so on and so forth. And this is where information is important. And I think this, at the end of the day, you want to be educated as a dentist. Forget about the brands, forget about the pricing, forget about everything. I think in order to be well versed in your craft, you need to know what's happening there.
Yeah.
What is there? What is possibilities? What I cannot do, what I can do. And each company, doesn't matter which one, nobody is 100%.
Yeah.
Nobody. So find. If I'm taking it to martial arts, for instance, yes, there are some people know to do karate. There are some people to know how to do judo, which is more grappling and on the ground. But the best fighters out there are the ones that know how to do both.
It's called mixed
martial arts.
Mixed martial arts.
Yeah. So anybody that understands something about martial arts knows that the top people in their field at least knows what's going on.
Yeah, and to get your patients to tap out. Yeah, it's best to know multidiscipline.
I wouldn't go this way, but okay.
Sorry,
fine.
I took your analogy to the next level.
Yeah,
it doesn't really work there. But,
no. I'm talking because I have a black belt martial arts.
Oh, you do?
Second degree. So.
Oh, geez, I will. Okay.
No, it's only.
Yeah.
It's a part of. So
That's great. That's awesome. Yeah.
This is why I'm saying it, because I have a black belt second degree in Goju-Ryu, which is martial arts, but also I have brown belt in judo.
Oh wow!
Because you need to do both.
You need multiple tools.
Exactly.
That's
you
right.
Cannot just say, okay, this is what I do. This is the only thing I know, and you need to be diverse and know all the solution for this task.
I think that analogy works for a lot of things in life. If you're narrow, like your solutions are narrow, it's best to have your mind open to all the solutions.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's always great to give somebody like me or my team 10-15 minutes of your time. The worst you can say is okay, guys, amazing, not for me. Yeah. Move on.
Yeah. And at least now you know. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So. Awesome, Nir. This has been awesome. I bet you didn't know that we're on here for an hour and 15 minutes.
No, it's fun.
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yes.
All right. I look forward to more conversations. And again, booth 2024 at the ODA.
We'd love to have you.
There we go. Awesome.
Say hi.
Come say hi. All right. That's been another Dental Bytes. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank you very much.
All right. See you later.
See you.